how do the world's greatest in any industry, in any field, in any role become great? What do they do? What are their practices? This one word will shift the way that you think about your own life. This one word will shift the way that you take action, the way that you think. This one word will help you get to the place you want to go to, achieve those goals that you have, and become the person you want to become. And that word is consistency. Be consistent in the person you want to become. Be consistent in your habits, be consistent in your actions, and stay the course. When you have decided what you want to do, when you have decided what you want to explore, when you've decided who you want to be in the future, for every high performer, every high achiever, every striver, every person who is ambitious, there's that future vision of what you want to accomplish. It could be something material, like you want to buy the house of your dreams, or you want to move to that country that you've always want to live in, or you want to get that career or have that opportunity to work with a certain type of industry. Whatever it is, be consistent. Be consistent in your intention, be consistent in your action, and keep revisiting. Keep revisiting the reason why you are doing what you are doing. Keep revisiting your actions, keep revisiting your habits, and ask yourself, am I still aligned with what I want to do with my life? Am I still aligned with my future vision? Am I taking the actions consistently? And am I experiencing the results that I want? Or if I'm not experiencing the results that I want, what am I learning about myself, about my process, about my systems or lack thereof? Totally guilty of that. What am I learning? What am I learning in this journey of being consistent towards the kind of life that I want to live? What am I learning about myself? What am I learning about the people around me? What am I learning about what it takes to really reach high levels of achievement, high levels of accomplishment, high levels of integrity, high levels of life, aliveness, feeling like you have put so much time and effort and love and joy and tears and sweat into this vision of who you want to become. And you've been so consistent in it that you feel this sense of pride, that you want to keep going, that you're getting up in the morning because something is pulling you towards the future. And that something is your consistency. I'm reading this book right now called The One Thing by Gary Keller. Gary Keller and another author. I can go grab the book in just a bit. And, one of the questions, or the question that he asked is like, what's the one thing that's gonna, if you do it, it's gonna make everything else easier or necessary? What's the one thing that you can do in your diet that's gonna make everything easier or unnecessary? What's the one thing you can do in your relationships that's gonna improve them? What's the one thing? What's the one thing you can do in your day-to-day life to feel happier? And it's this idea of focusing in on your one thing and then being incredibly consistent in pursuing that. In my journey as an entrepreneur, as a mom, as an adult, figuring things out, I get distracted. Like it's not, I'm not like a incredibly focused person because I get excited about a lot of things. I'm an Enneagram 7, so like that's a reason why I like to chase a lot of different areas in life. But one thing I realized as I'm getting older and as I'm becoming more wiser is that when I start to really focus in and hone in on what I do best, what I enjoy the most, what I enjoy creating, and I stay in that space, the level of creativity and engagement and flow that I experience is really high. But the challenge that I'm faced with on a day-to-day basis is how do I manage and juggle competing interest? How do I, be a good mom while also being a good business owner, being a good entrepreneur? How do I eat well while also produce great outputs and outcomes and shows and podcasts and all of these different things that I produce in my career? How do I maintain great relationships with my wife and my kids while still pursuing my personal ambitions? And I think these are the questions of life. These are the questions that we're faced with every day. Like, what do I choose? Which way do I go? Do I go here? Do I go there? What's going to be a better decision? And the one piece of advice that I have for you, if you're in this place right now where you're like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want, Dom. There's so many options. The best thing to do is sit quietly with yourself. This has worked for me. And ask that question, what do I want now? What do I want now? And why do I want it? What do I want and why do I want it? And mind you, whatever season of life you are in, you're going to want different things. You're going to have different circumstances and situations. Who you were in your 20s to who you are in your 40s or 50s, very different because of our life circumstances. They change and they shift. But the magic behind consistency is that when you set your intention of the person you want to become and you take the consistent action every single day towards being that person, towards becoming that person, you are going to experience a whole different level of life, a whole different dimension of who you are. It will become easier to focus on your one thing or on the area of life that you're choosing to grow. You're consistently watering the seeds or watering a seed, watering the seed and watching it grow and learning from it and being curious about it. And this is your life. Look at your life as this practice or this challenge to be consistent in the actions that will take you to your full potential. What is that? How consistent can you get? And if you're not being consistent, what are the distractions? What are the states of mind? Or also, what is your attitude? What is your attitude towards your goals? So let's go through this for a moment. Distractions. What is distracting you from focusing on being the best that you can be? What are the distractions? For example, in my life, I have 3 kids. And I'm not saying that they are distractions, but I lack that organizational system within the home. And I'm totally trying to Marie Kondo the house, trying to be a minimalist, but part of me also is I'm super creative and I like keeping a lot of things and I like seeing things that the kids have done. So for me, it's really hard, but it's something that I'm working on and it's something that I'm trying to be more consistent in. How do I pick and choose the things that are most essential for my family's experience? So distraction, lots of things going on, especially if you have a family. The second is your state of mind. What is your state of mind? Is your mind racing from, I need to do this, I need to do that. Oh my gosh, I forgot to do this. Is your mind in a constant racing mode? Or is it in a space where you can calmly reflect and think, this is the one thing I'm going to do today, and I'll be okay with that? Very different states of mind. And finally, your approach to achievement. Are you thinking about it in terms of the long game or the short game? How fast do you want to get there? Consistency in terms of your skill building, in terms of your actions, in terms of doing the things that matter most to you or the things that matter the most for what you want to achieve. For example, if you want to write a book, you got to be consistent in writing. If you want to be a composer, you got to be consistent in composing music. If you want to be a good parent, you have to be consistent in your discipline and your messaging towards your children. If you want to be in good health, you have to be consistent with that diet and nutrition and the type of exercise that's best for you. If you adopt this mindset of consistency, I'm going to be consistent in my life, I'm going to be intentional in my life, and I'm going to take the actions every single day that matter most to the outcomes I want to produce in my life. If you just take that, spot check yourself. Am I being consistent today with what I did yesterday? Am I being consistent with the vision that I have for myself? Am I being consistent in the way that I approach my relationships and the way that I approach my mornings? Am I being consistent? Where can I improve? And when you identify those areas that you can improve them, and then level up, and then be consistent in your improved actions. And that is the dance of life. It's identifying what we want, and then identifying the distractions or the mindsets or the environment that is preventing us from becoming that better self, from becoming our full potential. And then choosing a different direction, choosing a different habit, choosing a different mindset, and then being consistent in being that new person, being consistent in that future identity that you want to become. I was never a great speaker, public speaker. I used to get really nervous. However, through the years, I mean, even these past 3 years, when I started doing videos more consistently or doing podcasts more consistently, I got better and better at speaking. I just got better because I kept doing it and I kept honing in on the skill. I mean, there's so much to learn still. I listen to the greatest speakers and they have great stories and great metaphors and great delivery and great energy and emotion and there's all these different elements that I can include in my speaking style. But I know I'm evolving and I'm changing and I'm growing, and there's never really an endpoint to life. It's just keep getting better each day through your consistent actions. So that is this week's inspiration, this week's success topic: consistency. Be consistent in the things that matter most. Be consistent in how you show up, and be consistent in setting the intention for your days, your weeks, your months. Show up consistently as the person you want to be in the world. Show up consistently. All right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Remember to be bold, be positive, and take action every day.